Hello and welcome back to the Villa Filler podcast. It is a late night Villa Filler. Boy, we love these. It's been a while, Dan. Aston Villa 1,
Yeah,
Manchester City 2. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, mate. It's that late a Villa filler. It's almost an early morning Villa filler.
It
We're
is.
right on the borderline, aren't we? At the time of recording, it's like 2 minutes to midnight. Um, and mate, I think it's testament to the performance the boys put in tonight that I'm happy to stay up here at this time to talk about a defeat, which is rare. But yeah, mate, I think it's rare. I don't often like coming away from games with a loss, feeling too proud or anything like that, because it's often a bittersweet feeling, isn't it? Because when you've played well in defeat, you think, we've played well despite the loss. You feel slightly encouraged, but then there is a small part of you that thinks, but it could have always been a little bit more. And but that's a good thing, especially when you're playing a side like Man City, to come away with a sort of a what if from games like that, isn't it, mate?
It is, mate, 100%. And I think what's frustrating is how good the second half was. Like, I don't mind losing. And I don't mind losing if we're playing well. But that first half, I mean, the goals, they're just individual mistakes, mate, aren't they? They like, and it's a shame because I'm not digging anyone out. We don't really have the time to. And what's the point in doing it anyway, Dan? Because as I said to you off air, immensely proud of the performance. Immensely proud. So I don't mean for this to sound like ASMR. I just don't want to wake anyone up. Um, immensely proud of the boys. The second half was phenomenal. I think going into that game, they they respected Man City far too much, Dan, and I think that showed in the first 45, didn't it, mate?
Yeah, I think it's one of those where we showed against Brighton that at times this season we're not going to be sort of frantic in a press, and we're going to be quite happy to let sides have the ball. And I think with City, I think we sort of operated a similar system. I wasn't surprised by the lack of pressing, but I think we really struggled to get a grip on the game early on. And I feel like we would have been fine had we done that. But the first 10 or 15 minutes were just a bombardment, weren't they? We never really got out our own half. We found it really difficult. And when we did, you're right in that. I think as I said, I'm not digging anyone out because I am genuinely pleased. But I think Buendia and Bailey, especially on the counters, struggled with placing passes. There
Yeah,
were sort of lazy choices on the ball, and I think it's getting to a point with both of those lads now where I think they're trying to play catch up a little bit with their Villa careers, and they're playing hero ball. Like Leon's doing, like trying to chop inside on the counter attack instead of playing in Buendia, and Buendia is trying to play these wonderful raking passes, which hey, it came off at points, and but I think they're trying to win over the Villa crowd because they know that they've not quite hit the ground running, and they're almost trying too hard. And they just need to take it back to basics, do the simple things. And I think, I've not seen any of the Villa fans getting agitated towards them. That there's no hostility. I just think it's a pressure they're putting on themselves. And I think they were giving the ball away as a result, and City were just coming at us in waves. And hey, don't get me wrong, both of the goals are you they're frustrating, but I mean the second one especially is a fantastic finish. But it's a 2-on-1. It's one of them where you saw the pass to Bernardo Silva was on. I mean, you can't expect him to finish it like he did. It's an incredible finish. But yeah, I mean, I have to say, mate, when we went into halftime at 2-0, it was disappointing. But Stevie seems to have a real ability to galvanise those boys in the dressing room, doesn't he?
I mean, the thing is, things quite literally couldn't get any worse. Not that they were terrible, but going into half time, I was excited because, like, to be a fly on the wall in that dressing room would just be amazing. I'd love to know what he said and how he's got the best out of them. But I think I hate to talk about Dino. That's just something that Dino didn't have. He was just too nice. Um, he's like shouting at puppy. You can't shout at a puppy, can you? Dino didn't want to shout at his little puppies. Steven Gerrard, he takes no prisoners. It's plain and simple. He knows what it takes to
Mm-hmm.
be the very best. And I mean, reading his post-match comments, the application that he demanded at halftime, he received. And I mean, mate, it's a shame that you couldn't get down there tonight because the atmosphere was special in that second half. I mean, I wasn't there for that fabled Everton night game, the promotion, the first year back. But mate, there was something really special about that. I think it had a lot. We have to talk about him, don't we? We have to. I mean, we have to talk about him.
Yeah, it would be rude.
There were boos. I mean, to be fair, I've took a bit of stick on Twitter because I think people who are losing their mind over him just need to get a grip because he's gone. Like, he isn't a Villa player anymore. Like, and genuinely, if you think he meant any of the stuff he said, like, you are giving this lad far too much credit because he is not as intelligent as you think. He is as thick as two planks of wood. And he proved that at full time by going and giving a round of fucking applause to the whole stadium. Talk about tone deaf Grealish. He's stupid. So maybe I'm giving him too much slack here, Dan, but Jack Grealish is very stupid. But no, I've taken some stick over the past few days, but like, I don't care about him, Dan. I don't care. I'm over it. It's like, I mean, it's like we've moved on to bigger and better things. It's like that abusive relationship's over. Like, we don't need to put ourselves through it anymore. And that's that. And listen, I'm never going to boo him. I'm not going to do that unless he like rakes the back of John McGinn. Then I'll boo him. But I didn't boo him when he came on. He was booed. If you want to boo him, that's fine. We're not having this debate again. I didn't boo him. You were perfectly within your right to boo him if you did. But what I loved, Dan, and I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. Everyone sang "I'm Villa till I die." That pretty much rang around the stadium for the final 20 minutes. And to me, if you want to make a statement,
that's the way to do it.
Boy, we fucking nailed it with that, mate. Honestly.
Yeah.
Because listen, like, we are Villa till we die, and he isn't now. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, sure, he's a Villa fan. He's not Villa till he dies because he's not representing the club anymore. So for me, that was wonderful. That was magical, mate. Honestly, the atmosphere was it was electric. I've got that clip of that lad at the Chelsea game, mate. You know the one. Yeah,
I never kind of expect that atmosphere a game before. Yeah, mate. Matt, yeah, it was. That's the way to do it, mate. You're absolutely right. I think that the post that the Villa put out was a terrible move. Terrible move, because you have to just, the best way to approach that is with a no news strategy. Just radio silence. Don't even talk about it. Just, it's Man City coming to Villa Park in a Premier League fixture. That's all you need to, like. It was there've been a couple of times that the Villa, when, I don't want to get into it from rant of the media department at the Villa, but they did it with the Leon signing as well. If you remember, it was when the news was just breaking about Grealish, and they announced that Leon had joined the club, and it was just buried. No one gave it the time of day that it deserved, and it was just like it was bad timing, and it was the same again today. But it's a whole other thing. I mean, it's one of those where, yeah, I think that actually contributed to the emotion within the ground today. I think that single post on social media really did, because it was fresh in people's mind. That video is a very emotional one. Forgive me or not, it was very similar to the one they posted when he left. And so, put it right back in people's minds. And it was fever pitch when he came on, mate. And it's one of those where it's such a shame. It would have been so symbolic if Chuck had put that one past Edison into the Holte, because it would have felt like a real sort of changing of the guard. Like, this is the star boy now. Like, that's in the past. Here is the present. But I mean, that would have been. I think the Holte would have fallen to pieces, mate, if Chuck had slammed that one past Edison. That's
I wouldn't be here, mate. I'd be out in town, honestly.
No, yes, indeed. I don't think Chukwuemeka and I have much in common, but I think both of us will sit awake tonight for a little bit, thinking, what if he'd bang that one past the City keeper? But it's I loved the decision to bring him on. I think this is what there's a resilience, there's a trust in the players really early doors. I saw Chuck coming on, and for a moment I was like, wait, and then I was like, no, like come on, boy, like let's see what you're made of, and he stood up really well. And I think the biggest credit that you can give to Steven Gerrard is that in 3 games he's gone to give him Man City a game, and look, they're not the side that I'm expecting us to beat. But I mean, it pains me to say it, but Dean Smith's Aston Villa from this season would have been dismantled by that Manchester City side at home. We were
100%.
in previous seasons. Stevie's side has stood up to the test, and now it's all eyes on Sunday. And there's a real feel good factor. I love the fact we're bringing it back to Villa Park. Got a chance to put it right against another good team, one that's perhaps more at our level. And mate, can't wait to get back there.
Mate, it's going to be special. It really is. I think Leicester are there for the taking. Um, I mean, talking about sort of poetic endings, I just had it in my head that Ashley Young was going to score the winner, being a
Oh,
former man. Because do you know that similar storyline? Ex Villa man, he's come back. He loves that. Do you know what? I just love Ashley Young. I can't stop tweeting about him. I love Ashley Young. I love him. Please come on the podcast. Your agent said no, but please, Ash, come on. Please, just tweet Ashley. Tell him to come on, guys. I love him. But yeah, I just had it in my head. I was like, right, former Villa man, former United man. He's going to bend a free kick in the top corner. But no, I mean, we've not spoken much about the game. Shout out to Sanson as well for getting on. Wow,
yep.
what a bloke. What a bloke. Few really good passes there. Looked really confident on the ball, which was really good to see after so long out. Just in total. Um, but yeah, I think just to reiterate it, really proud. Keeping it short today, guys. As you can see, I mean, I've not mentioned it on the podcast, but I've moved. I'm actually back home now because obviously we're playing at home. But yeah, I mean, the setup isn't right. You can see I look awful from this angle. I've got the mic. But yeah, proud to be a Villa fan tonight, Dan.
Indeed.
Absolutely proud, mate. Any final words from
Indeed.
yourself, bro?
No, it's mate. I can't wait to get back there on Sunday. Gonna get the bastard annual leave to get down there today. Of course, it was the first game I've not been to this season. Fucking gutted. But now, mate, buzzing to get back down there on Sunday. We fake Villa fans now, that mate. Now that you live in Sheffield and I live in Manchester,
I
doesn't
think
that
we
make
are,
us?
mate.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to remove
Fucking,
Birmingham from my bio.
fucking. Yeah,
Can't do that
that's a
anymore,
that's
can
a, that's a reality check, mate. When you got to drop it from the socials, but nah,
I?
this weekend, mate, we'll be back in the hometown.
That's it, mate. Absolutely. And yeah, hopefully 3 points for Aston Villa. So if you guys enjoyed this, hit a like, comment your thoughts below, and subscribe for more. I will put these on Spotify at one point, just not now. I'm sorry, guys. I've had questions. I'm sorry. And if someone wants to do it for us, I would. I mean, I say I would pay. We don't really get paid for this, but it would mean a lot.
Yeah,
So
we'd
yeah,
pay you in respect.
yeah, and I mean that's all you guys need, right? That's all you guys need.
Indeed.
So yeah, if you enjoyed, hit a like, comment your thoughts below, subscribe for more. Up the Villa.